Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are located in the world. And thank you for joining us this beautiful Saturday morning. Well, it is certainly beautiful here in Daytona Beach, Florida. And Tammy are very, very excited to deliver this training this morning. And as we start every single week, I just love to, in fact, every presentations we do, we love to recognize all of you that are here bright and early. So let's start from the top. Robert, yeah, I think you were here like an hour before. So this is wonderful. Really appreciate you,
Commitment.
man. Commitment is awesome. Baxia, same thing. Well done. Awesome. Kayla, thank you for joining in. I think you're brand new and welcome to the team. Let's see here. We have Marie-Paul. Bonjour, Marie-Paul. How are you? We have Rochelle Villa. Welcome. Great to have you from Belleville, Texas. Great to have you here. We have Marlene. We have Michelle Perrault. We have, let's see here, Andres. Welcome. Great to have you here. We have Urban from Sweden. Beautiful. We have Regeneration from Las Vegas. We have Stefan Carter. Well done. Great to have you here from Seattle, Washington. We have Enyunam from Accra, Ghana. We have, I think I should Michelle Perrault. Did I say Michelle
Yeah.
here? No, I think it's first
Michael
time.
and Tracy,
Yeah, Michael.
welcome
Yeah, welcome, welcome.
from
Craig,
London.
great to have you here. Courtney, great to have you here, bud. Nice to see you here. Let's see here. Arasio, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Andres, Kim, great to have from Florida. And we have Isimbia. I apologize for sabotaging your name. Really appreciate you coming here from Ghana. Great to have you here. Now, today, folks, Tammy and I have this is a last training from our 90-day campaign that started back in January. And before we begin, I just want to point out to, let me share my screen first of all before we do this. We go. And let's go ahead and start adding this one over here. Okay, just one moment. Sometimes for some reason the computer just lags a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on session 3, which is the last session about momentum mastery and finishing strong. We'll explain to you what we mean by that. But before we begin, I know that some of you are new in this business, and maybe you just got started with God Backup. One thing we do recommend is to go through some of the past training that we've done. You can see them over here. If you go under playlists, okay, under playlists, you can actually see a whole bunch of trainings that are grouped together. This is what I'm talking about here, the 90-day campaign. If you go under full playlists, and I'll give you the link here in a moment, you can see all the sessions over here. Okay, now you can see that was the one from last week. So for example, if I go back here and I click on live, these are the sessions that are upcoming. We'll talk about the big announcement that's coming in at the end of the month here. For example, over here, we see session 3. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add it to the playlist, and I'm going to put in the 90-day campaign. And also on the Saturday training, I think we have here Saturday training somewhere. There we go. Saturday training. Here we go. God Backup training calls. Okay. So when you go back to playlist, then you will find that all the trainings that are conducted are listed right over here. And that's the most recent one, which is obviously live. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this out to you is because we cover a lot of ground on the prospecting, the inviting. There's some documents to which we'll reference again to keep tab on your activities and everything else. And understand, when Tammy and I train, we don't train you to make a couple bucks a month. We train you to create a full-time career in network marketing. That's what we're used to. That's what we've been doing for decades. So understand that our training for some may be a little bit overwhelming if you're brand new. Understand that if you're, let's say, not ready for some of the things we talk about, just know that the trainings are there and it's something that you could look forward to learn. Because what Tammy and I do is we made a career out of this, and we make a living out of this. So when we teach you certain strategies, and today we're going to summarize pretty much everything that we talked about, but it'll be a summary. And that's why I was pointing you to all the other trainings that we've done, because it contains everything you need. And here's another one that's important. If you go under the Success Cycle series, these are what we call the money-making activities. Over here, we have prospecting, we have inviting, we have following up, third-party credibility, handling objections. These are the main modules that will help you do the daily activities to grow your business. And we'll reference that a little bit. But we're obviously not going to start going into the details because the trainings are here. the reason why we create these playlists, and that's the reason why everything is recorded. And you can see that we have the Spanish presentation, we have the African community presentations, we have the Italian presentations, we have the French presentations over here. So, and there's other things. There's the Wednesday night presentations that we're hosting now with the end of week presentation. And we also from time to time invite Joel at least once a month. As you know, he's very busy right now to create all these wonderful things. And before we start, the one thing that's important to keep in mind is events is like fuel for your business. And a corporate events, it's rocket fuel for your business. Mm-hmm. And those of you to understand this, the strategy around promoting for events, you're the one that will do well. You're the one that's going to create a full-time income, or at least could create a full-time income. So that's an event. I noticed that Joel promoted this yesterday, and there's going to be some big announcement. And Tammy and I are actually flying in. We haven't been to Texas yet. We've been
so busy building,
and we've never seen the server. We've never seen, the whole establishment. So we're going to be there, and so we look forward to that. And I think there's going to be some announcements with features with higher commissions and lots of good things to help you make more money while providing a great service to our society. As Tammy often references, it's important for us that people make money, mm-hmm. and it's something that we take to heart. For years and years and years, Tammy and I have been promoting, personal growth and things like this, and one of the things that's underneath, even the book that we wrote, is breaking the cycle of poverty 1% at a time. And this is exactly why is we do this through network marketing.
Developing leadership. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tammy, pay attention to the comments. Make sure there's anything that pops up. I don't forget.
He's got these 3 screens. Yeah. As you can see, I'm in Chris's office right now. My daughter's visiting, and she's got my space in my room. And so, yeah, it's interesting standing beside Chris and presenting.
I don't think she likes it that much.
With his screens and everything all set up, because we all have a different style of setup.
Yeah, you should see my setup, guys. It's really awesome. Really, from time to time, I take pictures.
It's intense, yeah.
But for me, I like it, right? It's the way I work. But the fact here, folks, is to go back to the training is when you start building your business, what's very important is to maintain a certain level of momentum. Mm-hmm. I use often the example of the plane that's taking off, right? And I know there's a lot of bad news we saw, so don't take it on the negative. The point is that the planes, as it takes off, right, it takes momentum at the beginning. That's why we do the 90-day run. That's why we do 90-day campaigns to get things started. And then once you start going up, then you don't want to stop completely, right? You don't want the plane to go back down again. You want it to maintain the level until you reach your destination. And it's kind of the strategy behind what we're teaching here, and momentum mastery, maintaining what are the things that you can do to do that. We'll talk about this. The other thing too is we talked about reaching for goal. Your core rank in God Backup is reaching goal. That's your core rank, but it's not necessarily a rank that most people really can relate to at the beginning. And copper is what we call the building block. What's a copper? And I just kind of, I know that many of you know this, but some of you might be brand new, because I'll reference that a little bit to the training, is 1% on your left, 1% on your right. That's a copper. So the moment you start with the business and you sponsor 1% on your left team, 1% on your right team, we have many trainings. You go back to Saturday, we talked a lot about those, compensation plan and so forth. But the moment you do that, you reach copper. And if you duplicate that activity with every single person that comes into your business, then you can build an organization all the way up to Black Diamond if it's duplicated across your organization, folks. So it's very important that when we say finishing strong, is we want to give you the guidelines to have a strong finish, and use the rest of the 2 weeks promoting for the virtual event at the end of the month. So you can have some excitement and instill some energy within your organization if things are a little bit flat for you. And understand one thing, I'll pass it on to Tammy after, is when things are flat or slow, don't be alarmed by that, folks. Don't think, oh, it's over. No. They're cyclical. There's moments where there's momentum, and it is consolidation, right? It goes back down, and that's when you rethink your strategy, and it goes back up again. And that's why events are very, very important, because it's the beginning of a new momentum. Mm-hmm. And this business is very cyclical, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, and goes down. But the thing is, what you want, as it goes up and goes down, you don't want to go down and down and down. You want to go up, always another notch higher. That's how we build a business. This is how we strategize, and all our trainings are in line to fulfill that, exactly what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, so momentum is really driven through campaigns. This is when you go into high excitement, getting all the team excited and involved. And then often you would have an event, after a 90-day drive, you have something that has celebration, whether it's live or it's virtual, doesn't matter. But well, it's always better to have in person, right? But it's really important to take the time to celebrate. But Chris and I have always driven our success over the last 25 plus years. We've driven it through consistency and momentum. And that's how we were able to reach the success levels that we've reached over the years. And we've taught it for so many years. So you can see that as momentum, it always creates confidence in people. People get excited when they're around other people. Everybody's energetic, they're keeping each other accountable, and it's fun, and they're celebrating all those small wins. And then after a campaign's done, it's that consistency. So never take your foot off the gas pedal, you guys. That's what's the most important thing. We've seen so many quality people coming into this profession, and as soon as they're a campaign, they're in. They're like excited. They run, they jump, they do everything. They hit some pin ranks, and then you don't hear from them anymore. They're not showing up at the calls and stuff like that. There's no consistency. So that's why a lot of people come into this business and their business takes a spike and they go down. See, we're sharing some of what we've seen in the industry, and the reason why so many people cannot go, have that little bit of a plateau, which is, when you're not in a campaign, you're helping people. Really, you're helping people get to the next level. And then you do something else. You do another campaign. You do something that's going to drive excitement to keep people excited. And that's how you get to success. So the call to action is keep pushing forward, you guys. Never, ever go to a halt, ever. In business. It's like owning your own store, right? If you own your own store and you decide, oh, well, you know what? I don't feel like working today. I'm just going to take the day off, and the door's locked, right? You can't do that. It's business. You got to be constantly on your game. You got to have those small actions and those small wins and celebrate those wins along the way so you don't get discouraged. It's great to have a high target, but if you're not celebrating the small wins along the way, you're gonna hit walls. I know, because we've been there. Okay, so we're trying to help people overcome some of the hurdles that happen in this business.
and Tammy really touched it really on point here, folks. Is you can't, again, go back to the example of having a store. There are clients that are expecting, maybe they're planning to go to your store. I'm just going to use you an example here. How people are, right? To buy certain items that you're selling, and they plan their schedule around that, and then you choose not to show up and the doors close. What do you think these people are going to feel like? Well, God, why should you? I'm going to go somewhere else, and then you're going to lose the business. Mm-hmm. It may not be exactly applicable to network marketing, but in a sense it is, because if you tell someone that there are a call or a training that's taking place, and they're watching if you're there and you're not there, but they're showing up, but you're not there. And the next week, they're showing up and you're not there. What do you think is going to happen on week 3? They're not going to show up because you're not there. So I think,
Chris, many people treat this business like they don't treat it as serious as, some of the leaders, because of the investment that we put into it. People won't put that effort of owning $1 million, thinking that they're owning a business that's going to create $1 million a year or whatever, right? If you treat your business like that, then you're going to get into momentum and you're going to spike those campaigns and you're going to have a lot of success. That's why we have been in these steps. Like we treat this like a serious business, and that's why
we made serious income.
Exactly.
It's actually hand on hand.
Yeah.
And it's important, folks, that you treat this business seriously if you want to have serious income. You can't treat this like a lemonade stand that you just feel like doing, I don't know, this coming Saturday one time. It's cute, but it's not going to take you where you want to go. So often people turn around and they think we're lucky. They think we have special privileges, and they have no clue how much work we put into this. It's because we always show up. Yeah. We always the first one to leave and the last one to leave. And the same time,
enter the last one to leave.
Yeah. Did I say something reverse?
You said the first one to leave. No. We're not
first one to enter and the last one to leave. It's funny how your brain convert things sometimes. But the fact here, folks, is it's important. It's consistency and how to maintain momentum over time. You can see it here on the slide, right? Is massive action. Now, I use massive action because this is how we see things. What I mean by massive action is constant action, right? Prospect daily and stay engaged. This is the reason why we show up all the time for presentation. There is a small crowd or a bigger crowd. We show up no matter what, because we don't know who's going to be at the door expecting to be, to get information, maybe to get started, or they just got started and they're looking for some training. There's some folks that are coming into, for example, our Wednesday presentations, and they're saying, can we talk about business strategy? Obviously, these folks have absolutely no idea what's going on in the trainings that are available because we've been doing this for almost 2 years. So it's important that you educate your people and let them know what's going on by staying engaged and do daily activities. In other words, prospect daily. It's very easy to have a conversation about an item that everybody owns. I would say almost everybody owns, that have precious data in there. And the other thing too, I talked at the beginning of the call where we have some strategy accountability sheets, right? Some Excel spreadsheets. If you go back to some of the trainings when we talked about prospecting, inviting, you can find in the comment section, you can download these tracking sheets to keep track of your activities. This is something, some of you, maybe you want to print it, or some of you just want to keep it digital in your computer and just add the numbers there. Some of you prefer using a pen and a piece of paper, print it and just create a folder with it. But keep track of what you've done, from the previous week to the current week, and that's exactly what it's designed to do. So that way you can measure the results you're getting now compared to before. And the other thing is here, Tammy talked about celebrating small wins to stay motivated. Yeah. Folks, this is really, really important. This is the reason why God Backup has the ladder from bronze to silver to gold. The reason why copper is also there, I should say bronze to copper to silver, because copper is the building block. Gold is the core rank. So the fact is, because God Backup has such an easy entry point, we can really focus on the copper by producing coppers. And if you keep helping folks to qualify for copper. What is that again? I want to reiterate this. 1% on your left, 1% on your right. And here's a tip for you. If you want to build a business that is long-term, it's a lot easier for people to pay for the year. There's a few reasons why. One is you get 2 months for free. So you're saving money. Okay. Number two is instead of having people's credit card not going through every single month, it's once a year. And I'll add a number three is the average monthly cost for most companies in the world I've ever come across in my life are a minimum of $150 to maybe $250. Okay, depending on what country you live in, obviously exchange rate might be a little bit different, but you understand what I'm saying here. Okay, so what we're talking about is $120, because $20 to get started a year to become a member, and $99.97 for the service. So let's say to run it off at $120 a year, not a month, but a year. So that makes it a lot easier for you to focus on everything else after that you're doing on a daily basis. And then that way, the company will keep you active for the next 12 months. Isn't that awesome? Even though you're paying for 10 months, you're active for 12 months. This company is really generous. And it's such an easy entry point. For example, another thing that I share with folks, everybody uses either Google Drive or Dropbox, and they pay the extra to have the 2 terabytes. Now, in our case, we have 6 terabytes. Again, I'm not going to do a presentation, but I just want you how I communicate this stuff, right? So I keep track and I celebrate the small wins to stay motivated, make sure that your team is informed and educated on exactly what I just explained right now. Make sure they install the software, right? So I'm a little bit off topic here, but again, these are all things that, these are your daily activities, okay? And combined with prospecting. So my recommendation here, because maybe some of you could maybe improve some area in your team, is some of you do that, you're going to see an increase in your income right away. Okay.
It's a big adjustment, Chris, when it comes to business, especially if you're an employee, because we're so used to being told what to do. For example, if you just started a new job and they tell you you have to show up for the training so that you can learn the skill to be an employment and continue getting paid, are you going to show up? Absolutely, you're going to show up because you don't want to lose your job, right? Well, network marketing is a different beast because it's volunteer army. People choose to show up, and because of that, I think that's why a lot of people don't have the success that they want to have in this type of business. But showing up is absolutely critical. If you can't do the lives, you got to do the recordings and go through the process. Your team members, if they're not live today on this session, they have to have the recording and work with them. And when you work with them and have them go through the recording, then you're going to see that they're going to move towards some of the activities that they have to do. Right?
So this is how you sustain momentum.
Exactly.
So here's the point I want to share with you here as we finish as an activity, folks. Write down 3 action that will keep your momentum strong this week.
Yeah.
Look at your team. Look at what you've done. If let's say you don't have a team yet, you just got started. Well, here's one thing I would suggest is do more prospecting activities. Find out where you can go and talk. If you have an existing team, find out who's willing to really take this to the next level. Who's going to be attending the Wednesday presentation, the Friday presentation. And again, there's many presentations that are hosted by many team leaders that are here today. You know, and you're probably part of their WhatsApp group, Facebook Messenger group, whatever that is. Okay. So very, very, very important is write down 3 action that will keep you in momentum or keep your momentum strong. So again, these are tips that I'm telling you can really, really help you bounce back.
Yeah. And this one's really important, is bouncing back from the challenges, right? And often if you have a team that's not doing anything, when you get back to them, you'll find that there's challenges. There might be some challenges in their personal life. There might be some challenges in their careers and their jobs. There might be challenges in different areas, right? And often you can get them back on track. But challenges is part of the process, you guys. You know, rejection is something that if you take it personal, it'll be a challenge for you. But if you see that an objection is an opportunity for you to learn and grow and become better at handling some of the objections that people throw at you. And when you get to know people and you start having conversations, you'll find out the initial objection. I love practicing doing that because you'll find out the initial objection is never the real issue. You'll see that when you have these conversations with people, because it does go deeper if you're asking questions and getting to know them, right? Because people do open up. And the key is to understand that it's part of the process. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have challenges. If you are an athlete and you want to go to the next level in your career as an athlete, you're going to have challenges. It doesn't matter. In your studies, you're going to have roadblocks. It's part of the process. It's part of life. You're going to have challenges in your relationships. You're going to have challenges with your children. It's part of life, you guys. And it's how you handle it, it will get you to that next level, right? Or not, right? If you focus on the negative, it's just a spiral going down. So always find ways, instead of focusing on the things that are not working, put it in front of you. This is what we do all the time, by the way. We put it in front of us and we say, how can we make this better? How can we help the team go into momentum? How can we help John overcome that challenge that he's going through right now. I'm just kind of throwing out a name there, but this is what we do as leaders to find out how we can improve ourselves. And I'm telling you, we're not perfect. And we constantly find ways to evolve. Keep it positive, you guys. Positive energy, positive mindset around your team members. When they're having challenges, keep a positive energy around it. Be empathetic, but get them to the next level. Help them overcome that. Give them some creative ideas on how they could handle something like that so that they can get back focused on their got back up business. So these are all the things that we do working with teams, and always massive action, right? It's and keeping track of it. If you're not tracking your progress, then you're not growing, really. You got to track it, because that's what keeps you in line. When you see that, if the day goes by and your intention was to do this, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that. If you're not tracking it, then you're not keeping yourself accountable. Okay, so you got to track this stuff. And if you are working closely with your leader, you need to be sharing this stuff with your leader, because they can often spot things to help you get to the next level. Okay, so constantly working on it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And the call to action is to identify a challenge and create a solution. This is what we do always, like almost every day, right? We're doing stuff like this.
Well, I like Filera's comment where what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, this is exactly what it is what challenges often are an opportunity for you to grow, to break some barriers. And that's really, really important that you are aware of that. Now, how to achieve goal rank and beyond. And I touched about it on a previous slide. And I know I would come back to this because this is such an important aspect, folks, is you need to focus on high impact activities. What is high impact activities? Prospecting, inviting, following up. If I may go back over here, I was referencing here the playlists on the Success Cycle series. And it's not me saying this here, folks. You might be watching this from our slides, but this is, if you go and start doing ChatGPT and says, what are the most important activities in building a network marketing team? I guarantee you that somewhere around in the answer, you will have a reference to prospecting, inviting, following up. But we added third-party credibility because that's powerful in handling objections, because some people are not just going to say yes. Sometimes there is obstacles for them to overcome before they can consider doing business with you or doing business with whatever it is that you're presenting. So focus on high-impact activities. These are it. Okay, and then duplicate success by training and mentoring your team. Now, folks, you don't need to be, let's say, what Tammy and I are doing when I say about mentoring your team. What I mean by that is make sure they understand the two activities, the most important activities in Got Backup. I'm going to give you the answer, but I know there's a 15 minute, second delay here. I'd love for you to put in the chat over here, what are the activities, the two most important activities in Got Backup as you start this business? So feel free to go ahead and answer that. Okay. Now I'm going to give the answer here. So what happens is, number one, make sure that they install the software. There are two apps to install. Okay. There is the app for your cell phone, and there is the app that sits in your computer. The one that's on your cell phone, it does pretty much everything for you. And it's not going to back up all the settings of your cell phone. Okay. And there's strategies we can tell you about this. What it's going to do is going to back up every single important pictures, videos, moments that you have. And it's going to be on the cloud. If you come to our presentation, you'll see how organized I am with this. It's very well organized. Okay. So very, very, very important. The second thing that you need to do is to invite two people. And then once they choose to be part of Got Backup, you place them one on the left, one on the right. This is what you want to duplicate. Number one, if they install the software, then they have a peace of mind that their computer is completely backed up. And by the way, that's a complete backup of your computer when you install the application on your computer. And also the cell phone, all the pictures are there and they're all sitting in your cloud organized for you. That creates a sense of accomplishment and a sense of achievement and security, knowing that my stuff is safe there. And then the next step again, one on the left, one on the right. You become copper. These are the two things that you want to do on a regular basis. If you duplicate that, you will build a prosperous business. On that note, think of Dropbox, 700 million users. Think about the possibilities with that, right? And take massive action and track your progress, as I referenced earlier. So set the goal rank. So that means you need to sponsor at least 5 people into your business. 5 people. And out of those 5 people, it doesn't have to be the one you brought in, but at least someone that came from those 5 people became copper. That means that they're doing a business, one on the left, one on the right. So when you do that and you have at least 25 people on your team, you are considered a gold. Now the compensation plan starts opening up to you. And as you move up the rank by helping another person to become copper, then you move up one more rank and then it opens up more money for you. And this is how this works. So the call to action here, folks, is identify, right? Identify what is missing for you to reach your goal rank. Okay. And reach and find a deadline. Establish an actual time and date for you to reach your goal level. And if you focused on that and your team focused on that, I assure you that this will help. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the activity is to set your gold rank and the deadline that you're going to achieve.
Which is what I just said, right?
Well, you went to the leadership, but that's all good. That's all good. See, I'm looking at his setup. I'm not used to his setup. I'm kind of looking around. He's got stuff kind of everywhere. But what's really, really important, you guys, is to do the action, get the fundamentals down pat. And when you can do a fundamental building block, which is copper, one left, one right, then guess what? You can teach it. So it's all about building into leadership. And at every level, you're going to get at a different level of leadership, which is what we're talking about right now, is the leadership part, is how to step into leadership. Well, here's the thing is if you can reach copper, you can teach anybody how to get to copper.
Yeah.
Right? One left, one right. I just did it. I can show my 2 people how to get left and right, get them copper. And that's how you build momentum in your organization, is working with the people. If they haven't hit copper, you want to make sure that everybody's moving up to copper. Everybody's showing up to the training. Do everybody do it? No. And you can't drag anybody off the across the finish line. But you do need to show up, because if they see you show up, guess what? They know that they should be showing up too. And when you send them the recording, these are all activities of leaders, making sure people are plugged in. If they're plugged in and they're doing the activities, then they're going into momentum. If they go into momentum, you go into momentum. Okay, so it's all about leading. Leading inspires action constantly. Yeah, I love leading people and helping people grow in this industry and become the leader of your team. Like I said, it's all about helping the coppers, right? Helping them get there and help your team with their clear goals. So we talked at the beginning of this 90-day campaign. What is the big goal after 90 days? I mean, if people can do it in the first 30 days, phenomenal. Some people went gold in the first 30 days. Some people may do it in 60 days. Some people may do it in the 90 day, but the goal is to get to gold, right? So if you weren't at a rank and you're not at the gold, then towards the end, people kind of step it up a little bit. This is when you get that massive action going, because you want to hit your ranks, right? You want to hit your targets. And when your people see that, guess what? You're telling them that it's possible. So I run across people sometimes in this industry that says ranks, recognition is not important for me. I get it. I totally get it. If you don't want to, if that doesn't matter for you, that's fine. But it matters for your people. So if you're a person that thinks that way, understand that it's important for your people that you grow, because then you're showing people that it's possible. Okay, so write that down because this is a really, really important message. You always want to be encouraging your team members to get to the next level. Keep an eye on their stuff. Sometimes they don't even look themselves and they're close to the end of the month and they could get that next level, right? So make sure that you in the call to action is identify one team member to mentor and guide so that you can help them get to the gold rank. And remember, they have to want it. Okay, you have to understand they have to want it. They have to be hungry enough. They have to be committed too. I mean, your time is valuable. Every single one of you, your time is valuable. So if you want to get to the next level, you want to make sure that you're really close with your sponsor or the person above that's going to be able to lead you. Don't ever worry about your sponsor not being active. I can tell you, Chris and I have built this without sponsor support.
We never did. We became the sponsor. We became the event. We became the motivators. We became the leaders. And whole and behold, we're benefiting from the results of that. And that's what we're trying to transcend. I wouldn't say try, because many of you are starting to do very well. In fact, you've done very well. So you just have to stay the course. But the key is make sure you're downline. The people that are coming today, yesterday, or a week ago, or a month ago, even a year ago, know what to do. And that's why we keep showing back to these trainings. So the good news is these trainings are recorded. You can go back to them forever. Okay, so make sure that you follow up on the call to action. All the call to action we give you, if you don't remember what they are, I suggest you go back in the replay after this call is over and start taking note of those things. These are the activities that are going to help you get to what you're looking for. The key, folks, is it's important. It's not just about you. It's about your team. Mm-hmm. Network marketing is a community of people with a common goal. They want to live better, right? They want to be able to not having to worry about the financial situation. I know right now there is an aura that's going on with everything that's happening. Don't get caught up in all of this. Trust me, I'm human too. I see everything that's going on, and don't get caught up in all of these things. Focus on what you can do and how you can evolve from all of that. Because I assure you that someone will see an opportunity with everything that's going on. The opportunity I see right now is the fact that data is the new oil. And I see an opportunity to really help a lot of folks that are dealing with a device that everybody has and a price point that everybody can afford in light of today's economy and challenges people are facing. It's very attainable, very doable. Okay, so the fact is, you want to give it a final push in these last 2 weeks. Okay, and I'm not saying at the end of March it's over. In fact, we're starting a new chapter. There's going to be a lot of new things. I think Joel is going to be introducing a lot of wonderful program that's going to help you earn more income, right? So the fact here is the final week is take massive action. What I mean by that, remember, I use the word massive action because that's how we work. But what I mean is take constant action by just inviting folks to look information, inviting folks to look at your link that has a little video that will invite them to start receiving emails. If you've prepared the emails, if you watched our training, you'll see how all the emails are there. And Pepe, I just want to address your concern about you can't get in. You probably have mistyped a word in your password. Just go to the front page with the chat support. They will get back to you. It will create a ticket. It will tell you what your password is. It will give you a reset temporary password that you'll be able to log in. Okay, so just want to address that. Now, the fact here, back to the training here is, again, massive 2 weeks, massive action. Okay, keep the energy high.
Yeah.
That's important. Keep the energy high by tracking daily and keeping weekly progress on what's going on. Call your team members. Find out what they're done. Again, for some of you, it may be overwhelming if you don't have anybody in your team yet. Remember, there's a lot of people from different levels that are listening into this, and they may not even be here today. They may listen to the recording later on, maybe even a year later. It happens a lot. The fact here is you want to keep the energy going for your team to stay active. If it's too quiet, everything is calm, well, it will also impact your results. Okay, especially as the plane is taking off right now. You don't want the plane to stop the motors when it's just about to take off. It's not going to do well for us, right? Push through the finishing line, right? No slowing down. Now, this is for those of you that want to reach your target. Mm-hmm. I really recommend you focus on reaching for goal right now. Again, you need to sponsor 5 people into your business. 3 of them, it doesn't have to be personal, has to be from someone you brought in though, became copper, and you need a total of 25 people. And now the income will start reflecting that an income that you could probably, use as a subsidiary for whatever it is that you do. And the challenge here that we recommend here is commit to taking action every day until the final deadline.
Yes.
Okay. Again, when the plane takes off, you don't want to stop, the gas, right? You want to keep it at full throttle so that the pressure pushes thousands of pounds in the air. So it's kind of, think of it that way. And once you're in momentum, then you can slow down a little bit, take some time off in this, but you don't completely disappear. You're always there. Your team knows you're there. And if you start duplicating leadership into your organization, you'll find that people will take over. Why? Because they want to increase their paycheck. They want to increase their lifestyle. So it's not a job. Everybody's self-employed here. And that's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah. So the plan for your week is to, the goals is to identify at least 2 to 3 members. And that's if you have team members right now. Some of you are brand new and you just need to get focused on getting to copper. That's your main focus. Get to that first building block and help those 2 people. And if you can do that in this week, that is a huge celebration for you. And for those who have team members, you want to get back to them. You want to help them get over. Maybe they might have a challenge. Maybe they're talking to people, but they're not getting any results. Maybe you can do some role playing with them and help them. These are things that we do. We see where people are at and see how we can help them get over any of the hurdles that they might have and help them get focused on a goal. Because when you have a goal, you're going to aim towards it. Okay. So you got to make sure your team members have goals. If they're just, they just sign up and they're just kind of winging it, they're not going to go anywhere. Right. So you gotta guide people in doing all of this stuff, and to take massive action daily is absolutely key. It might be you work full time and you only have an hour to do got back up. Well, guess what? Massive action in an hour, no distractions. Just get focused on connecting with people, following up with people. That's got to be a main focus. So there's no excuse because everybody's got different levels of how many hours that they can put into the business. And that's when you take massive action in those hours. No distractions. If you guys have kids, I know I did when I started the industry, I had notes on my door, no distraction. No distraction. They had to do what they needed to do, and I needed to do what I needed to do for that hour. And then we had vision boards, and the kids had things that they wanted to do, right? Activities and stuff. And I say, hey, if you guys do this while I'm doing this, then we're going to have this. And they got excited, and they want to keep me accountable because they want that activity, right? So no excuses, you guys. You got to find ways creative ways to make things happen, to grow and move forward. Okay. And always track and always celebrate progress. Always, always, always. That's what's going to make it more exciting to get to the next level. So your challenge is to reach a new personal a new personal best. And yeah, because his thing's really small there. To reach your new personal best and sign up and team engagement. So that's your challenge for we're going to throw out challenges, and that's what's going to help people grow. Anybody who takes this stuff seriously is going to grow. I know one thing, that when Chris and I ever invested in courses, because we paid money, you guys are not paying for this. So we paid to learn, right? And we had to fly to a different country. We had to pay hotels, it's always fancy hotels. We always ended up, making it where whatever we learned, we had no choice but to make it work. Otherwise, we're throwing our investment out of the. Well,
I'll be transparent, folks. Tammy and I have spent $30,000 a year for mentoring, plus all the flights and everything else, and everything. We've been doing this for years.
With the Eric
so,
Worre,
understand, folks, that what you're getting here is a lot of important information. You're getting the same information that we got,
Mhm.
that the top income earner, the $1 million income earners are getting. What we're telling you is exactly what they are providing.
And they're
It's
teaching.
and are teaching. Where I'm not kidding, because it comes in for free. Sometimes we don't see the value, but I do want to recognize Regeneration Zone and Filera, many others here. Maybe some of them are not here today. Maybe it'll come a little later. The fact here, listening to the recording, is I've recognized certain of these things. And it's true. These webinars, folks, I'm not kidding. This is the kind of information that millionaires are being trained on. I'm telling you, it's exactly what we get. Okay. Just the difference is the price tag is different.
Yeah.
So take advantage of these, folks, because they are recorded. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So
There's lots of recordings.
yeah. So as we finish here, folks, it's important as we do a quick recap. Okay. Now, this is the last training on the 90-day run, not the last training we're doing. And in fact, there's going to be lots of new stuff coming in. And I know that the following weeks, we want to focus on a little bit more hands-on on the software and everything else. We're going to shift gear a little bit because you can always go back to these trainings. But just to recap here, number one is momentum is key to long-term success, is to learn how to keep your team engaged and motivated by dropping some, and even myself, I can do a lot more. I can do a lot better. Sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed because we have so many team members that we're supporting, and we're constantly preparing trainings and also doing our own prospecting and recruiting and everything else. My point in saying is that you need to do the basic activities that we talked about in maintaining success.
Mhm.
And that is to maintain some momentum into your organization. Focus on gold. Okay. The goal is your core rank. But the thing you want to focus on in building towards gold is copper. Copper, copper, copper. You want to produce copper. Two things we do again. You know, I've repeated quite a few times today. Install the software that's done automatically for you, and make sure you understand you need to bring two people. The moment you begin, make sure you understand that, unless you just want to be a customer, which is totally cool. Okay. And the fact is, it's important also that you move into a level, a status of leadership. Don't let that scare you. Don't think, oh, I'm not really a leader. You know, at the end of the day, everybody is. You're a leader to your kids, right? And people around you. And you may not realize, but you are leading. You've been leading your entire life. You just never got paid for it. Well, in this business, we get paid very well to lead. And when there's leaders in your organization, you will find that people will stay accountable. Not only will stay accountable, but they tend to aim for goals and help their team to aim for goals. And that's how an organization grows and evolve. That's literally how this works. And stay consistent, push through the challenges, and track your results so you can recognize where you're improving and where you're lacking skills that you need to improve upon, right? So this is your time here, folks. Stay focused, finish strong. And claim your goal in 2025. And something I can give you also as a tip to go back to the YouTube channel. Here's what I recommend every single one of you do here. I would recommend, and let me just kind of take that link here, copy it. I'm going to put it in the chat for you to take note. If you're not, there we go, paste. There we go. Okay. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. It's important. And I highly, highly recommend that you click on this event and you click here, click the little thumbs up. Okay. And at the same time, click the notification, notify me. So that way, whenever that training takes place, you will get a notification, which is Saturday, March 29 at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a live virtual event. As I mentioned, beginning of the call, Tammy and I are flying in to Texas in the office. We've never seen the office for the past 2 years, and some of you have been there. We haven't been there yet. And
we're going to meet some people that are, they're going to be driving in or flying in as well. And he's going to spend some time with some of us, some time doing some, online marketing stuff. So we're going to go there to learn as well.
Yeah. So I highly, highly recommend that, again, you prepare for this. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it goes back to this point over here, right? You want to make sure that you maintain momentum. Mm-hmm. And the key to long-term success is to make sure your team is plugged in and engaged. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what these events do. And then focused on the goal rank. Okay. And how do you focus on the goal rank? Well, first of all, what's the building block? I know I'm repeating a lot, but I want you to understand sponsoring 2 people, one on the left, one on the right. If every single one of you here on the call have not done that, that should be your very first activity right now this week. Focus on getting one on the left, one on the right to make sure that you are copper active. And call your personals and ask them, hey, do you need help? And then from there, plug them into whatever presentations are available to you in whatever language you want to listen to, and so your prospect can relate to the information and stay consistent and pushing through these different steps. That's how you're going to succeed. So that ends the portion of our training here today, folks.
Yeah, we got 15 days left, you guys. So this is the time that you step up your game and you set some targets. How many people are you going to sign up in the next 15 days? And how many of your team members need to get to that next rank? You got to strategize it, write it all down, and then run for 15 days. And you'll see how far you're going to go.
Absolutely. So we look forward to see you on Wednesday. For those of you that are serious wanting to build a business, this is the end of the week presentation, and take advantage of this presentation. And also make sure you attend all the presentation from your leadership. Pay attention to the WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger group, whatever group you might be part of, maybe it's Discord, whatever, to make sure that you are in tune with what is going on within the community. So your homework right now is make sure that you are qualified as a copper. Okay, make sure that you've installed the software on your cell phone, well, from your cell phone, right, and the other one to on your computer, so you can back up your devices so it's nice and clear, so you can show others how the system works. These are the 2 things. If you have accomplished that, the next step is make sure that your downline do that.
Gold, you guys, gold.
That's how you move up in rank. That's how Tammy and I reached the triple diamond. Go ahead.
And if you're above gold, your goal is to get people to gold. You know, maybe you have a bunch of coppers, but they need to get to gold. So that everything is strategy. You got to work strategy to get to the next level. We see the amazing leaders out there that are doing this regularly. And guess what? You're seeing a lot of their people that are ranking up, and that's momentum, right? So it's follow some of the stuff that you're seeing out there that can help you get to the next level. It's all about elevating your game, and we all have to elevate our game. Every once in a while, we have to re-strategize things that might, be working or not working, and we need to adjust along the way constantly. We've been doing this for so long. We're so used to it.
Yeah, for us, it's part of our DNA. But listen, folks, thank you so much for your wonderful feedback and content. And I know that as you are listening to the recording and you're passing on to your downline, hit that like button if you like what we're sharing. It just tells the YouTube algorithm that people like this and they show it to more people. This is the kind of training that can really help people build their business. Yep. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and we look forward to our next presentation. Bye for now.